Hello, folks. I am back, and yesterday I did a challenge. Uh, I attempted to do the left-handed shooting challenge by Big Johnson Guns and Gear, and I did it with these three CZ shadows. This one back here is going to be the Shadow 2. Right here is the Bull Shadow, and up front here is the SP-01 Shadow. I attempted to do that, and I did the video. It was not my best performance. I had a few difficulties. Some of you might know I have a bad left hand. I had that issue, and also plus it was near the end of the range day over there, so it was being a little rushed. So I went back today, and then I shot all three of these fine. I don't know what that was about. I'm going to take blame and say it's the shooter. Uh, One thing about all three of these are all excellent firearms. Uh, these two here are from their custom shop, and the one back here is a production firearm from CZ. Uh, Started with the SP-01 Shadow. This is basically the SP-01 with some modifications, the safety, but the big thing, the safety, but also you have your Bomar type sights. But the main thing with this firearm is it is basically a souped up version of the standard SP-01, and it's all has to do with the internals, whether the spring system or whatnot. Uh, I believe this is roughly about a 6 pound double action pull with a 3 pound single action pull. I don't have a Lyman gauge to let you know the exact poundage, but I do believe it is quoted on their website. So this firearm has some advantages over the standard SP-01, but it is a great shooter. It has a very smooth trigger and double action, and it is like butter. As you see here, light trigger pull. After I get the slide moved forward, light trigger pull, and then you rack it again, short reset. And that's it right there. The other one is the Bull Shadow. The Bull Shadow is based off the CZ75, I believe the B version. It is similar with the fact that actually a standard CZ75, but of course, like I said, with the SP-01 Shadow, you have all your different internals and so forth in here to different springs, etc. This trigger is the smoothest out of all three and double action. It is the smoothest. I believe this is around 6 or 5 pounds, if I'm correct, but it is very light. And of course, you have the short reset. And again, this right here is the CZ70. Well, this is the CZ Shadow 2. Now, what's different between the Shadow 2 and these two? The SP-01 Shadow was derived out of another firearm. The Bull Shadow was derived out of another firearm, but the Shadow 2 itself is basically its own firearm, meaning that it's its own design. You don't see too much resemblance of another firearm that CZ has made. Not too much anyway. There are other firearms out there that you could say, yes, that this came from this, that, or the other. But this, to me, it's its own firearm. And this is why I like this as a favorite out of all the Shadows, because it's its own uh, beast, if you will. Uh, it's a little it to me it's a little heavier than all the other firearms. This weighs in roughly about 43 ounces or so. And let me just check something. Okay, I put the camera on pause a minute. I just got really curious about something. Uh, I want to check something, and I want to weigh all three of these. Okay, with my scale here, I had to reach for it. I'm going to start with the SP-01 uh, shadow and get a weight here. And what I see here, it's roughly about 2 pounds, 6.1 ounces. And on this one, which is the bull shadow, it's going to be 2 pounds, 7.1 ounces. And let's start, and now the shadow 2, it's 2 pounds, 11.1 ounces. So this is probably the heaviest out of all of them. One good thing about the weight in these firearms, it helps with accuracy as far as when the firearm is recoiling, and once the slide starts to cycle, it gets back on track, enabling you to see your sight picture. And with the bull shadow, what makes it even different is that it has the bull barrel that intentionally adds a little more weight to the front. And of course, with some firearms, a lot of people like let's say the full dust cover with the pick rail. It adds to some weight as well. But I'm going to show you exactly the targets I shot and kind of let you see what I was dealing with yesterday. Now, the first one is going to be Big Johnson's challenge with the left hand. That's what I was shooting at left hand. This was at 10 yards. I really screwed up on this one and screwed up here. And I'm going to show you the other target. And this is one that I was sending out 10 yards to roughly 13 yards. This one I should have labeled them, but I know which one is which because I started in a certain order. This one right here is going to be the Shadow 2. It's not exactly fist size like Big Johnson does in his videos, but it's pretty accurate enough. But all that has to deal with me and my shooting. Right here, I was trying to get a good line of sight. I was trying to aim what I thought I was aiming a little low, but I tried to compensate and aim higher. And as you see, it went off here. This is with the SP-01 shadow. And this is the one with the bull shadow. Now, I think I did a lot better with the bull shadow. If I could keep these shots in, I would be pretty much on target like I wanted to. Started over again. This is the Shadow 2. And those were the shots I was getting there. Another flyer outside. Back again to the SP-01. They all stayed within the target area. And at the distance with the bull shadow, I just didn't want to go into this target, so I tried to drop lower. And this is where you see my groups are right here. And like I said, this was not a typical range day for me. I was not really happy with my results, but I went back today and everything seemed normal. I can't explain it. C. Kim said you have good days and you have bad days. So that's it for me with the Shadow Wars. I hope you found that a little entertaining. Please do Big Johnson's left-hand challenge. That was pretty cool because that's something people don't normally practice, but it's a good thing to do. Other than that, happy shooting. Stay safe. #2A.